Module 6 focuses on future and conditional expressions in the Efik-Ibibio language, with an emphasis on helping learners look ahead and communicate beyond present situations. As part of the Efik-Ibibio course, this module introduces learners to key structures and expressions that enable them to discuss future events, make plans, and describe hypothetical situations. It is designed to build on foundational language skills by equipping learners with the ability to express intentions, possibilities, and conditions in everyday communication. The module, titled Future and Conditional Expressions, highlights the importance of forward-looking communication in real-life context. By engaging with this content, learners begin to transition from basic language use to more dynamic and interactive communication. The focus on looking ahead reflects the practical goal of enabling learners to participate more effectively in conversations that involve planning, predicting outcomes, and responding to different situations in Efik-Ibibio. Module 6 is structured to guide learners through several key areas that are essential for understanding and using future and conditional expressions in Efik-Ibibio. It begins with an introduction that sets the foundation for the topic, followed by a focused exploration of how to express future actions using appropriate grammatical markers. The module then moves into explaining how learners can talk about their plans and intentions, providing them with the language tools needed to describe what they want or intend to do. In addition, the module covers how to make requests and suggestions politely, an important aspect of effective and culturally appropriate communication. Learners are also introduced to ways of expressing possibility and forming conditional statements, enabling them to discuss hypothetical situations and outcomes. To reinforce learning, a section on conversational practice is included, allowing learners to apply these concepts in realistic dialogue scenarios. The module concludes by summarizing key points and consolidating learners' understanding of the topic. The introduction to this module explains the importance of learning future and conditional expressions in Efik-Ibibio, emphasizing that effective communication goes beyond talking about present events. It highlights that being able to discuss what will happen, express intentions, and describe possible situations allows learners to engage more meaningfully in everyday conversations. This shift from present-focused communication to forward-looking expression is essential for achieving greater fluency and confidence in the language. The module outlines clear learning outcomes, stating that learners will be able to talk about future events, express their plans and intentions, make polite requests and suggestions, and describe possibilities as well as if/then situations. It also connects these skills to real-life applications such as planning family events, making arrangements with friends, asking for help politely, and giving advice or warnings. Overall, the introduction reinforces the idea that mastering these expressions helps learners move from basic communication to a more dynamic and interactive use of Efik-Ibibio in practical contexts. This section introduces how to express future actions in Efik-Ibibio using the year marker, which serves as the primary indicator of future tense. Learners are taught the basic structure for forming future statements, which involves combining a subject prefix with the marker, n, year, followed by the verb root. This formula provides a consistent pattern that can be applied across different verbs, making it easier to construct sentences about actions that will occur later. A keynote in this section is that the first-person form often includes an additional ed- element for smoother pronunciation and rhythmic flow, as seen in examples like in the nyoka. The lesson also introduces future time markers that help specify when an action will take place, adding clarity to communication. In addition, learners are shown how to form negative future expressions to indicate actions that will not happen. An example provided is, Omi ememo ku eke yuram pon, meaning, I will not go to the market tomorrow, which demonstrates how future and negation can be combined effectively in real-life communication. This section explains how to indicate when a future action will take place in Efik-Ibibio, with a focus on future time markers and negative future expressions. It emphasizes that beyond using the future marker, speakers need to specify time in order to answer the question, when will it happen, and make their communication clearer and more precise. Future time markers are therefore introduced as essential elements that help situate an action in a definite time frame. Learners are exposed to how these markers work in context, especially when combined with negative future constructions. A clear example provided is Omi ememo ku eke yuram pon, which means I will not go to the market tomorrow. In this sentence, pon, tomorrow, serves as the future time marker, while ememo ku eke expresses the negative future, will not go. This demonstrates how time markers and negation can be used together to convey both the timing and the refusal or impossibility of an action. Overall, this section strengthens learners' ability to express not just future actions, but also when those actions will or will not occur. Talking about plans and intentions involves using different expressions to show desire, intention, or thoughtful consideration. When expressing what you want or intend to do, the structure yom is used. For example, Nayam Dika means I want to go, while Ayam Didia means you want to eat. This same pattern can be extended to other subjects, such as she wants to buy and we want to walk, by appropriately adjusting the subject while maintaining the yom structure. On the other hand, when expressing plans or something you already have in mind to do, the structure diono is used. For instance, Omi Mediano Naibop Ufok means I plan to build a house, showing a more definite or organized intention compared to simply wanting to do something. Additionally, to express thoughts or considerations about an action, the structure kia is used. An example is Enkia Ndika Calabar, which means I am thinking of going to Calabar. This form indicates an idea or possibility that is still being considered rather than a fixed plan or strong desire. Making polite requests involves Making suggestions involves using expression. Making polite requests involves using respectful and friendly expressions to communicate your needs. A key word in doing this is mbok, which means please. It is used to soften requests and make them more courteous. The basic structure for a polite request is mbok plus a request. For example, mbok no me means please give me, while mbok enwa me means please help me. These expressions are simple but effective in everyday communication. For more formal situations, especially when addressing elders or showing a higher level of respect, requests can be framed as questions. For instance, ndi efo ayenwa me means will you please help me? Another example is ndi efo ayena mi ufok, meaning will you please take me home? This structure sounds more polite and less direct. In casual or friendly settings, politeness can also be expressed by adding the suffix o to the verb, which gives the request a warm and inviting tone. For example, dedio means please come, or come, please, while dediao means please eat, or do join us. Another example is noko, meaning please sit down. These forms are commonly used among friends, family, or in relaxed environments while still maintaining politeness. Making suggestions involves using expressions that invite others to consider an idea or take part in an action. One common way to do this is by using the inclusive form yak, which means let us. This form encourages group participation and shared decision-making. The structure typically follows the pattern yak plus subject prefix, I plus verb root. For example, Koni Jie Yura means let us go to the market, while yak ikwan imo can mean let us learn together. Another example is yak idian utum meaning let us start the work. These expressions are useful when proposing activities in a cooperative and friendly way. Other forms of making suggestions are also commonly used. The expression efoku means you should, and is often used to give advice or recommend an action. For instance, efoku ijo akwoko means you should study your books, while efoku idian emi means you should do this. Another useful expression is edi mmeku. which means it is good to, and is used to suggest something beneficial or appropriate. For example, Edi mmeku onikpi ekpia means it is good for us to pray, while Edi mmeku efo imo means it is good for you to learn. These different forms help speakers make suggestions politely and effectively in various contexts. Responding to requests appropriately is an important aspect of polite communication, especially in cultures where respect and courtesy are highly valued. When accepting a request, responses are usually brief and positive, showing willingness to help. For example, Ayo means yes, while Ayo enkim means yes, I will do it. Another example is Ayo enwamefo, meaning yes, I will help you. These responses convey agreement in a respectful and cooperative manner. When declining a request, it is important to do so politely and with proper explanation. A key cultural rule is that one should never refuse an elder's request without including a polite reason and the word mbok, please, which softens the refusal and shows respect. For example, mbok, enkimku, endi mmaimo means, please, I cannot, I am busy, while mbok, enkimku, endi mmaimpok means, please, I cannot, I have something important to do. Another example is mbok, enkimku, idomi esim meaning, please, I cannot, I am not feeling well. These expressions help maintain respect and good relationships, even when a request cannot be granted. In conclusion, you are progressing from a learner to a more confident speaker by mastering key structures used in everyday communication. You can now express future actions using the ya marker, which helps you talk about events that will happen. You are also able to discuss plans and intentions using forms such as yom, diono, and kia, allowing you to clearly state what you want, plan, or are considering doing. In addition, you can make polite requests using bok, an essential expression for showing respect, and offer suggestions using yak, let us, which encourages cooperation and inclusiveness. You have also learned how to express possibility using words like ndusok and edi ikim, helping you communicate uncertainty or likelihood.